What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to We Want Health, episode 7. This week, we've got a great guest. We got some funny Quora questions. Yeah. So the first one is, what is the best advice for an Indian woman? This is for you.
Can I see that question once more?
What is the best advice? The best fitness advice for an
Okay.
Indian woman?
Best fitness advice. Okay, for me this is a broad question for Indian woman, but I want to share something about my story, my experience till now. So I understand like there is a lot of social pressure, for anyone. There is pressure from the family. I've felt this because I've never gained my weight since my school days. I was 48 kilos in my school days, and today I'm 49. I gained only 1 kilo. So whenever I visit my family, my grandma is like, you did not gain any weight this time, why are you not eating well? You look so skinny. And for her, she thinks that gaining weight is becoming like healthy, like becoming stronger, okay? So yeah, and maybe this is the same with most of you. Yeah, and I just want to talk about what are the main things that can help you to stay fit and to lose weight for those who are chubby. So main thing is exercise and food. So the exercise will be just simple. Go for a running, or you can just do inside your house if there is a bigger space. That's called cardio exercises. So otherwise you can do a jumping rope. It's just like sweating, bringing up your heart rates. That will really help you. And the next one is don't eat a lot of junk food. Be more conscious about what you're eating because it really matters. And yeah, so those are my suggestions. Just simple workout, running, jumping, jogging, and eating a healthy food.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna give some examples of cardio workouts.
Yes.
Sometime in this episode.
Yes. Hey YouTube, welcome back. We are here with Adashika, Miss Darjeeling 2019.
So we have her in the studio today, and we were thinking we wanted to ask her. Usually we stick with Quora questions, but she kind of had like a really interesting. She's accomplished some things, and she has like definitely a vision. So we wanted to ask her some things about modeling, coming from the hills, because we know there's a lot of people that are from the hills who really want to pursue modeling, not just for fun, but actually to make some money, to actually have a career in modeling. There's a big difference, obviously. So maybe you could share first a little bit with us and with everyone, like how you got to wait. You won Miss Darjeeling 2019, right? Now you're about to graduate with your media degree, and you're thinking to move to another city, or maybe how you got here just a little bit.
Yeah, it all started back then in 2017, and I was first year of my college, and I was a person who always wanted to experience like different things. I was like, someday I was like playing sports, other day I'm dancing, other day I'm doing this, that. And then there was this pageant going on here in Siliguri. It was like it's one of the biggest shows of North Bengal. That's the Starliken. Okay, that's 2018. Starliken, the registration was open. So I thought I want to give it a try. I had never walked into a pageant or something. I'd never done that. So I just wanted to experiment. Actually, that was just an experiment. Okay, so I just enrolled there, and then I got into that. I went for grooming. I learned to ramp and everything. Till then also it was like okay. I was loving it. Okay, and then that show happened. Okay, and luckily I won. Okay, that was the first ever pageant that I was.
Which pageant was that?
Starliken.
Okay.
It happens every year.
Cool.
It's one of the biggest shows of entire North Bengal.
Oh.
So I was I won that show, and I went back home with the crown. And that day, I was thinking about everything that happened for that week, and the entire week I went to grooming, this and that. And that day when I was wearing the crown, walking in the stage, I felt like this is me. I could find myself. We have to find our purpose in life. So that day was it was very triggering for me. I felt like the entire crowd is there for me, the entire audience is watching me, like they're there for me, they're like giving applause for me. So that's how it actually started me as a patient, as a model. And then I started getting into modeling. I started like working out, losing weight. I was very chubby before. Okay, my old pictures. I was very chubby. Then I started working out, and I started and I got into this. I started collaborating with photographers. I tried to make contacts with them, and then I started. That's how everything started. And Miss Darjeeling, of course, since I'm from Darjeeling, I was born and brought up there. So Miss Darjeeling always, has a special place in my heart. So when I heard that Miss Darjeeling is happening, 2020 is happening, and the registration was open last year, 2019, I said I couldn't miss this chance because, of course, I would be very proud if I become the title holder of my own hometown. So I got there and I won the crown, and I'm the reigning Miss Darjeeling.
Yeah, come on,
Yeah.
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So I guess the other thing I wanted to ask you was maybe you could share some just practical advice for obviously anyone, especially people from the hills who are like really passionate about modeling and want to see, want to do it as a career, pursue it as a career. I know one of the things we were talking about before the camera started was like, I feel like I know a lot of people have pressure from their parents to pursue other kind of more traditional jobs and careers and ways of making money. So I don't know, do you have anything to say about that?
Yeah, I don't think I'm anybody to advise as of now because even I'm an aspiring model.
Yeah.
But then, yes, if you are passionate about it, just do it. Luckily, I have a very supportive, parents who's very supportive, who really encourages me to do things like whatever I want to do. But then, we should, because it's, we're gonna blame the society for being like this because it's not that, they're blaming us because they have never seen these things before in our
For sure.
society.
It's
Right?
brand new.
Yeah. And so if we could prove them, break the stereotype or whatever, and then prove them we can actually make a living out of this, so I guess they will accept it because it's not something that they will not accept it. That's what I feel. Okay, so it's us who should be proving them by doing great, helping each other grow in every field, and then just grow and if you're passionate about it, just do it. That's all I tell you. Yeah.
Super great. That's awesome. Let's do it.
So Quara wants to know, what is the major factor behind the lack of physical fitness in India?
Major factor. I think a big part of it is, like you said in our first question, was people's social, I guess the communities, the cultural standards around what it means to be healthy or not healthy. You know what I'm saying? And what, especially, I would say the cultural standards around that. It's exactly like you said. A lot of older people will say, for women, if you're too skinny, you're not healthy, these kind of things. So, I think it starts with one, cultural understanding of, okay, what actually is healthy, what is optimum health look like for different people, not just what does your parents or your society or your tradition say. And, or even example, I was reading something on Quora the other day and talking about how so many Indians are lactose intolerant, but yet when they're kids, it messes their stomach up to drink milk, but yet their parents force them to drink a glass of milk before they go to school in the morning, just because it's in their mind, it's their tradition of okay, my parents did this for me, so now this is the best thing for a child to drink. And a lot of it's marketing. Honestly, companies have convinced people that that's what they need to drink, but a lot of it's just around social conditioning of what is normal and what's not. And unfortunately, there is a lack. For India as a whole, there's a lack of education around what is healthy and what's not healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think overall we can say this is because of the lack of education about health. There is so much lack of education about health in India.
Yeah, but it's weird because the information is there. You can get on your phone or your computer, and in an hour you can be way more educated than most people walking down the street.
I know,
But still, most people, it gets back to that same thing of, okay, but what is mom and dad saying? What is my uncle saying? What is my older brother saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know. my grandparents, they don't have any idea about what is what is healthy stuff to eat, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing that my parents, they continue doing. They thought, okay, whatever my mom, my dad say, they feed me, it's good for me.
Right, no
Good for
questions
them,
asked kind of
no
thing.
questions, nothing.
But also, like, your grandparents were pretty healthy and they didn't have the same issues that we had. Like, there was no
Yeah.
junk food back then in the village, you know what I'm saying?
That's the main
So that
reason,
was one of
yeah.
the things. Like, now we're not changing things and we're just accepting everything that's given
Yeah.
to us by, you know, companies or whoever.
And they grow like everything in their field, you know, that was all
Right.
organic, no
Right.
processed food, nothing, like no junk food. So yeah, they eat whatever nature gives them.
Yeah.
And then like my grandma is super healthy till now, like she's 83,
Yeah.
but they did not have the education about health.
Yeah. So I think back then it was fine, but now with all of the things around us,
everything
and
is changing right
you
now.
know,
the
when
food
I see the
processing.
mom walking her 3-year-old down the street and buying him all this junk candy stuff,
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh gosh, like I don't think she realizes that it's not super good for you.
Yeah, and have you noticed about this thing in India? Like a mom goes with their baby to get puchka, you know puchka, pani puri, which is like just near to the sur,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the moms like to eat it, and the bhaiya who is selling it, he's not wearing any gloves. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like they don't know in the morning what he did, like
Yeah.
right, and
Sanitation is obviously a
yes,
huge thing.
sanitation is not that
Like-
good. Okay, the mom likes to eat it, but also she wants to feed her baby the same thing, you know, and
Yeah.
that is like not so healthy.
Yeah, I wouldn't feed that to my baby.
Yeah.
But
Obviously no, obviously not.
but I mean, yeah, it's the thing. It's just been like that for so long,
Yeah.
where you tell people and they're like, but they're fine, you know. So it's kind of this ingrained belief of what's okay and what's not okay.
Yeah, but now it's changing because people are
It's
more
definitely changing.
curious, you know,
Yeah.
and our age people, like they are.
There's so much-
they
that's
are-
the thing, there's so
they are
much information
They are
available.
into social medias and everything. So much information these days about
Yeah.
health and everything. So
Yeah.
it's changing. Our future looks bright about health.
For sure.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you some simple physical exercises that you can do at your home. Obviously, I'm not prepared today. This shirt is really tight, but you can wear whatever is comfortable for you. Clothing doesn't matter at all to do the exercises. Just feel comfortable and just follow the simple steps. Our next question is, why are most of the foreigners physically fit? That is obviously from my husband who is a foreigner.
Why are they physically fit?
Yeah.
Most of them.
Most of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a funny core question. I would say, being a foreigner and living most of my life in America, they're definitely not mostly physically fit. So that's not a very good question. I can understand why you might think that. If, let's say, if you're an Indian, everyone you're seeing from a different country is probably online, and most of the people who are popular online, regardless of what country they're from, like, they look good. Definitely gym, like going to the gym is more popular in the West than it is in India, although India is like quickly becoming a very gym conscious country.
Yeah.
But that's definitely not like the average American. Like, I'll just speak for Americans since I'm American. The average American, I wouldn't say they're super fit. I mean, if you look at statistics, definitely Americans are more obese than Indians. There's not a lot of obesity in India at this point, although it is growing. But America is, I would say, not super fit. Like, we eat a lot of crappy food and a lot of us are overweight. Yeah. Having said that, like I said, gym is more popular in the US. But also, I think for the guys, like, one difference I would definitely say in the fitness of Indians and Americans is, in America, it's more popular to be bigger as a guy. Like, pretty much 90% of the guys want to have muscle. Where in India, there's not as much social pressure to be big as a guy. Like, it's changing now. You see a lot of the younger guys, like our age, like going out to the gym and trying to gain muscle. But still, 90% of the guys out on the street in India are still, they're skinny, and there's nothing wrong with them. They're healthy, but they're skinny. in America, like you just get teased more and stuff like that. If you're small as a guy, people always want to be bigger, and we start lifting weights generally like when we're in school and from a young age. So I would say that's the biggest difference. Is more like about the gym culture, especially for guys. But I wouldn't say that Americans are more fit or foreigners are more fit than Indians.
Yeah, like I've seen some of the Americans who come to India just as a tourist, like so big that they cannot hike, like they cannot walk.
Yeah, that's true. Like coming up into the mountains, like
Yeah.
you guys can hike way more than most Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super not true. Like I'd say in general, Indians are way more fit than Americans.